Hey, Donovan. Not talking about you, so I'm going to try to get you to answer this question. But just when you watch the NBA growing up, or before this year, when you're surveying the NBA landscape, what type of player deserves to be in the MVP conversation?
Oh man.
You
I
see how I
think,
did that?
yeah, that was clever. I think, the first and foremost, I think the biggest thing is, team play. It's an MVP award for sure, but you don't get there without a team. And we've been playing well. I think for me looking at it is it's just the team, on the best team. We're doing our thing. We have a lot of room for improvement, but we're definitely doing our thing right now. Um, yeah, and just making plays, not necessarily, you know, having 35, 10, and 10. It's doing whatever is needed. And I feel like my teammates trust me. I trust them. And I think, I'm not too worried about it at the end of the day. I mean, I know what it is, been here 4 years and the fans know we just don't necessarily get all the credit we deserve. And that's not just singularly on me. And I feel like we use that as a chip on our shoulder. And I'm just very fortunate to be in this position where my teammates trust me to go make plays like that. But the other stuff, if it happens, it happens. I think the biggest thing is winning. Winning takes care of everything. And that's been my mindset, ever since I got here. Winning heals everything. It's the outside stuff is what it is. It's not up to me. I'm just going to go out there and be the best teammate, best player I can be, and go from there. That was very, very great how you worded that, though. I like that.
Tony Jones, The Athletic.
I'm going to try to do the same thing that Sarah did. How much of your improvement or your drive to improve is driven by the only teams that win an NBA championship are teams that have a top end so-called superstar.
Right.
And how much of your improvement is driven by that thought?
I think, what goes into that is the trust factor that I've had since I got here from my teammates and coaches, and then that in myself. I'm always going to be confident in my abilities and what I can do. But the trust factor allows myself to be in that position. But, I think the biggest thing is, you look at, these teams, there's always going to be chatter of, who's the top dog, this, and the fifth or whatever. But at the end of the day, for me, like I said, winning heals everything. I'm going to go out there and make the plays that are necessary, whether it's scoring, some days it's passing. There may be games where I go 0 for 10, 0 for 10, 0 for 15, but it's by any means necessary. It's pretty much the motto that I have. I think for me, just finding ways to win the game. And like I said, everything else will kind of take care of itself. The biggest thing is I told you at the beginning of the year, like we got bounced out the first round 2 years in a row. Like, we got to get past that. That's it. And then from there, we continue to push our goals. Our mind is stuck on a championship. We're not here to kind of say, let's just be in first and kind of get the accolades that come with that. We're trying to win the whole thing. And that's been the mindset of this team and this group. And you see it with our play, you see with our grit and our determination, and everybody's reaping the benefits of it. And that's truly what it's about.
Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
Hey, Don. So we're talking to Joe, and he said that between your simply pure offensive talent and your unselfishness, there's no question that they were just giving you the ball for the last 5 minutes and letting you do your thing, whether it's scoring or setting other guys up. When you're in a stretch like that, do you feel like a tangible difference? Like, do you recognize that like you're playing at a higher efficiency than you normally are?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing, first off, like I said, it just goes back to having teammates that trust you in those moments. Like I said, I know I'm capable of, and if any player would tell you they want the ball in their hands every possession, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I understand the plays I got to make. I'm finding guys, and it's not always necessarily score. Tonight it was scoring. There's a possession where I drive and kick it to Joe. It's all about trust, the trust factor. That's really all it is. And my teammates have made it easy on me to be able to go out there and just do what I do. And like I said, the 2 passes to Rudy, y'all know last year, the year before that, and the year before that, I probably don't throw that pass. So like that's the progression that I'm seeing in myself, that my teammates are seeing in me, and just being able to, like I said, to trust it. That's all it is. Just trust it, and everything will go. And it may not always go right, but continuing to find ways to just make the right basketball play. In the late game, I definitely want the ball in my hands. I think my teammates do as well. And just trying to make the right basketball play. Everybody looks at me, he's like, oh, he has to score. It's not always the case. Tonight was a night where I had to, but just making the right play, to the right guys, finding guys, and doing whatever it is it takes to win.
Kristen Kenny, Jazz TV.
Don, this is more just about the team overall. You guys are able to adjust much quicker now to whatever defenses throw at you. Can you take me through that process? What is the difference that you're seeing now with this group?
The attention to detail. I think you've seen it in recent years. Like we kind of get stagnant when they start switching. Now it's finding ways to attack, and it's not necessarily attacking the score. It's not necessarily driving to say, all right, I got an ISO, now I got to go score. It gets tiring after a while, believe me. So at the end of the day, it's driving to make a play. Driving to create an advantage. And I think we all see that, and we have guys that can create, from all different ways, running the bigs, not necessarily setting the screen, getting under the guy, which has caused the defense to help on the backside. Now we got our threes. Now we're in closeout situations. That's been the biggest thing for us, our contention to detail, because there are times if we're not focused, we're bringing the ball out slow, waiting, and it's possession after possession after possession to do that, and it gets tiring after a while. It gets tough to score and win that way. So for us to do what we want to do, we got to continue to play through the switches, play through different coverages, and we did a good job of that tonight.
John Kuhn, AP.
Donovan, you look at the team as a whole, you had 4 different players that had at least 4 assists tonight. From your perspective, what's led to just that efficiency on offense that you guys are able to make the right plays at the right times?
It's really just, the unselfishness of his team. We've had it ever since I got here. And even before that, we get excited when we make that extra pass. I think that's what we feed off with that hockey assist, and not necessarily saying, oh, I want to pass it to this guy so he can shoot. I think that the pass to the pass, driving that closeout, not an extra pass like that, we feed off that. And I think that's something that's special about this group, because it's not always the case around the league. And I think that's why you see the numbers that we have. And there's times where we get mad at each other for not shooting the ball, and I think that's a good problem to have as opposed to the other way around. So I think that's really where we got where we're at, and continuing to do that, continue to create those advantages, and that's what gets us going.
Tim Bontemps, ESPN.
Donovan, you talked before about the motivation to get out of the first round after the last couple of years, and I was curious how much of this run you guys are on to start the season, the way you guys are playing and you yourself are playing, is any bit of a carryover from the way things ended in the bubble and kind of what you had to go into the offseason thinking about?
I think the biggest thing that went into it was just our motivation over the summer, or whatever you want to call it, the fall, the offseason. I think guys coming in, like I look at Royce. People don't know Royce because we don't play on TV, but like you look at Royce the past, like he came in the best shape of his career this year. The determination in that sense, you see the product on the floor, but I think it's the biggest things you see up the floor. Him and I went to Miami, worked out for 3 or 4 weeks straight. The work that I watched him do, I haven't seen that in his 4 years. Not to say he doesn't work hard, but he's on another level. You look at Joe. Joe's been talking trash the whole day, like the whole offseason, about how he's coming back ready to go, and I think that right there stood out to me in general. Obviously having Fave back, JC's playing at a high level, Rudy's playing at a great level, Mike's comfortable, Bojan's back. I think that's where we saw the difference. We saw the work ethic just take another leap, and then you get onto the court, and now it's attention to detail. Because you can work hard and not think, and now you're starting to make the same mistakes. So now it's the attention to detail that we're having, and I think that's something that really shows how mature we've gotten in that time. But now it's only been 25 games. We got plenty more left, and this is a great start. But at the end of the day, we'd rather be there at the end as opposed to starting out great. So,
Mark Medina, USA Today.
Hey, Donovan, building off of those kind of big picture themes you talked about, how are you viewing these upcoming stretch of games against other marquee teams, and to what extent do you attach any significance to it?
To them, I think the biggest thing is just focusing on what we do. I think we've had, this is the first game of a big stretch we got coming up. We just got to continue to focus in on the little details. We're gonna play the MVP coming into town. We got who we play after that? Miami. They made it to the finals. So we got teams that have deep playoff experience, high level players, and we just got to go out there and do what we do. At the end of the day, it comes down to what we do and how we hone in on our little details. And, we're not going to put too much emphasis on it. It's not like, we're saying this is a make or break stretch for us. but we just got to go in there and continue to play the way we've been playing, share the ball, move the ball, defend at a high level, and everything will take care of itself. Because we're not playing to be ready. And by February, we're planning to be ready in June, March, April, May, June, July, whatever. Like that's when we want to have our best product. And these are good tests for us. And I think that's going to be our biggest thing, just passing each test, passing each test one by one, just to see where we're at, see where we can build on things that we need to improve on.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Donovan.
Thank you. Thank you.